Okay, so the lesson we are going to be talking about today is Chapter 9, Canada and International Business. We're going to be talking about Canada's competitive advantages. Canada is a country that has been dramatically affected by international business. Many aspects are positive, including increased employment and access to better technology and new products and services. Imagine if Canada didn't trade. No iPods, no American music, movies, or even coffee. There would be a lot of things that we would not have access to if we did not trade. A competitive advantage is when a company has the ability to produce a product more cheaply than another company. The advantage may be based on technology, access to raw materials, marketing, management, quality, price, productivity, warranty, or service. Canada produces many excellent goods and services that need to be identified and marketed worldwide in an effort to develop brand Canada. It is important that Canadians recognize, support, and take pride in the high-quality goods and services produced by domestic businesses. We are going to talk about 6 things that Canada does have a competitive advantage over other countries, and those are banking, culture, human resources, technology, quality of life, and finally, good infrastructure. The first thing we are going to be talking about is Canada's banking industry. One thing that Canada has an advantage over a lot of countries is the banking industry. During the recession in 2008, the United States suffered because of the subprime mortgage crisis. Many Americans lost their homes, and many banks and financial companies, such as Goldman Sachs, went bankrupt or needed massive bailouts from the U.S. government. Now, I'm sure the question you are probably asking yourself is, did Canadian banks suffer in the same way? Well, the answer is no. Although Canadian banks were affected by the recession, none of them needed bailouts or were in jeopardy of bankruptcy. Canada's banking system is designed to handle the ups and downs of the business cycle. In fact, the World Economic Forum selected Canada as a country with the soundest banking system in the world. The Canadian banking industry is dominated by the big 6 banks, which are Royal Bank of Canada, TD Bank, CIBC, National Bank, and Bank of Montreal and Scotiabank. Canadian banks are larger in size and have greater reserves than the European and American competitors. Canadian banking system is tightly regulated by the federal government under the regulations of the Bank Act. The Canadian government is more conservative than its international counterparts with respect to the control of the banking system and federal banking laws. This has allowed Canadian banks to be profitable and well capitalized in comparison to banks in other countries. 4 of the banks mentioned are some of the largest banks in North America: RBC, TD, Scotiabank, and Bank of Montreal. However, the greatest international presence is in fact Scotiabank, with more than 2,000 branches in 50 countries, including Mexico, Brazil, Chile, China, India, and Japan. International operations currently account for almost half of the Canadian bank's earnings. There is a tremendous potential for Canadian banks to continue to expand worldwide. The second thing that we are going to be talking about today is Canada's human resources. In Canada, we have a highly skilled workforce. We have first-class business schools. You may be surprised to know that U of T is ranked as the highest business school in Canada. We also have York, University of Western, University of Alberta, UBC, and McGill. We also have a low turnover rate. Turnover is the number of workers that leave a business in a particular year. So basically, take the total number of workers that leave divided by the total of workers in the company, and that is your turnover rate percentage. So that's really interesting to look at if you ever want to look at it. Another thing we talk about is OECD, which is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It is a grouping of countries, and a lot of statistics are produced by the OECD. So Canada has very good human resources. So moving on to the third point is culture. We are going to be talking about Canada's culture industry. Canada has a tremendously strong and vibrant culture industry, which includes publishing, theater, visual arts, music, and film. The productions of culture industry not only entertain, but inform the world of Canada's distinctive identity. This industry provides employment for skilled workers and is a growth industry in Canada. Canada exports of culture products doubled between 1997 and 2006 to $3 billion. It is also important for Canada in other ways. It lets us examine ourselves, our community, and our forebears, and offer pure escape and entertainment. Two examples of our culture is Cirque du Soleil and Canada's expanding television industry. Canada has been very successful in all areas of culture, but some main ones are Canadian authors are greatly respected. Example, Margaret Atwood or Douglas Coupland are successful in Canada and throughout the world. Some Canadian films have been profitable. Example, Trailer Park Boys, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Bad Cop are all Canadian productions. Many movies are also filmed on location in Canada, including The Twilight Saga, Juno, Fantastic Four, and X-Men. One of the most successful regions for film and television production is Vancouver. It is the third most popular location for the foreign film production in North America. Movie makers are also attracted to British Columbia's natural beauty and skilled labor that's available there, and its outstanding studio facilities. The industry accounts for more than 36,000 full-time jobs through direct and indirect employment. The music industry is also thriving. Successful Canadian artists include Drake, Justin Bieber, and Avril Lavigne. Live theater is also a booming industry in Canada. For example, diverse theater districts are in Toronto, Montreal, Winnipeg, and Vancouver. A theater festival that we have is Stratford Shakespeare Festival, and it attracts thousands of tourists each year. One of the greatest attributes of Canada's culture industry is that it can be easily exported. Example, the Cirque du Soleil international success is that its performances do not need to be translated to be understood in countries where English and French are not spoken. Our fourth point is Canada's technology industry. Canada is an extremely large geographical area with a relatively small population. It is the world's second largest country by area, but is the 39th by population. To allow business and individuals to stay connected across the distance, excellent communication technology is a necessity. High technology regions include Toronto, Vancouver, Waterloo, and Ottawa. One of Canada's greatest success is the BlackBerry. The BlackBerry is the brainchild of Waterloo, Ontario's Research in Motion. This wireless device has obtained a lucrative piece of the International Information Technology Unit. Canada's wireless industry employed approximately 25,000 workers, and wireless revenue totaled $15.9 billion. Canada has a strong software industry worth close to $1 billion. Examples are OpenText, Constellation Software, and Coral. Companies in this industry create software for many business applications, including accounting, supply chain management, planning, customer service, and e-business. Companies such as Radical Entertainment and Electron Arts leads Canada's digital entertainment industry. As of 2009, 52,000 Canadians were employed in the field of digital media by approximately 3,200 companies. These companies focus on gaming, special effects, animation, and simulation products for the entertainment and health industries, as well as the armed forces. The fifth point we are going to talk about is quality of life. Quality of life is a measurement that is taken of a country looking at four different things: life expectancy, the adult literacy rate, generally the availability of education that is available to the public, and income distribution. In the 1990s, Canada ranked number 1. We are not perfect though. Canada still needs to work on Aboriginal health and literacy rates. We are still a work in progress. Okay, so our last point we're going to talk about today is business infrastructure. It is the basic things we don't think about that we need in order to run a community, country, and even a city. So we need water and waste systems, water management, solid waste management. An example of this is so when we flush a toilet, it needs to go somewhere and hopefully just doesn't stay in the toilet. Recycling, local transportation such as road and bridges, We need to make sure that the roads and bridges are intact. So construction on roads or bridges is a good thing because that means the country has good infrastructure and the government is working on improving the community. Affordable housing, telecommunications, tourist, culture, recreational facilities such as parks, and finally, education. Good education is part of infrastructure. So when we get into the employment sector, we don't need as much training because we're already have the education, and we don't need as much training as if we weren't educated. So I hope you enjoyed my lesson on competitive advantage in Canada. Thank you.